1, 2. Can you guys hear me? Check, check. Everybody good? What's good, Knicks Nation? It's your boy Matthew Wilson, your future favorite sportscaster, and we're here with another edition of Blackout Sports. The Knicks, winners of the NBA Cup. Not hanging a banner, though. We'll get into all of that. Plus, the MVP. You should already know who the MVP of the NBA Cup was, Jalen Brunson. But special guest on the show today, creator of the Cult of Brunsonian group in Facebook, a commentator on the I.O.W Sports Show, and also a producer of Panther. Go ahead, tell him. Go ahead, tell him.
Panther on Acid Productions. If y'all need mixing, mastering, recording, beats, that's where you can find me.
Ooh, I might have to tap in. To a salute to our guy Randy Weber. Go, what's up, dog? What's up, man? Appreciate you for coming on the show, and of course, I got my boy Ken.
What's up? I'm here. I don't get. It's already been a whole half a season. I don't need a big introduction.
No, I'm still tight with Ken because of how he been doing me on these video games. He's still ducking me in that 2K, but it's all good. So that's why I messed up his intro like that. But that's my guy, man. Salute to my boy Ken Castro, the gaming corner, my brother from another mother. You already know. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it, guys. Randy, we're gonna start out with you, man, because we got a special guest on today. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. It's feel great after yesterday for sure. That was and any trophy that goes the Knicks way is a boost. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it has been a minute. So tell us, man, how'd you become a Knicks fan? Give me some of like your favorite Knicks players growing up, your favorite teams, man. Give us the scoop, brother.
I grew up in New York, so obviously it was either Knicks or Nets. Nets were in New Jersey at the time, so that wasn't a real option. And I grew up in the Nate Robinson era of the Knicks. And, because I was a kid and kids are stupid. If you had asked me at that time, like, who the best player in the NBA was, as far as I knew, it was like Kobe, Shaq, and Nate Robinson. Like, those were the players I knew, was familiar with. So I don't know if y'all remember, he had a boxing match like a few years ago.
Oh, yeah. We remember.
Yeah, he got done dirty.
We remember. Yeah.
He did get done dirty, but I was like, oh shit, that's Nate Robinson. I remember you. So there was that period, and then there was the Melo and Stoudemire period, and that was when I got revamped interest back into it, and then Linsanity happened, and after that point, I was still a Knicks fan, but my level of interest was always more in football. When like basketball spiked, like that's when then I found out the Julius Randle period where like the Knicks were in the playoffs, and I was like, oh shit, the Knicks are in the playoffs, and so like my interest kind of waved. I'm definitely the biggest basketball fan in the past since the Julius Randle playoff spot, but I've always been a Knicks fan with waving following.
Okay, so how do you feel about this current iteration of the Knicks because I mean your group is called the Cult of Brunsonian, so I know how you feel about Jalen Brunson. Me personally, I do. So how do you feel about this current iteration of the Knicks since Julius Randle has been traded? We brought over Karl-Anthony Towns from Minnesota, Josh Hart still here, OG Anunoby. How do you feel about this version of the New York Knicks currently?
I think it's a perfect iteration of the Knicks. I think I love the layers to it. So Brunson obviously has become the star of the team, and through the transition from like the Julius Randle Knicks to the Jalen Brunson Knicks, we used to be like one of the deepest teams, and then as we were starting to make big moves, we traded Emmanuel Quickly and RJ Barrett to get OG. We traded up like 1 million picks to get Mikal Bridges and unite the power of friendship. We traded Julius Randle and Dante to get Cat. And so my issue last year was this is not a very deep team. It's a very starting five level team. and then like maybe after Mitch, like it's just not much there. They did exactly what I wanted them to do in the offseason, though, which is we don't need big shakeups, right? Like this is a year where we have the team to win the East, and we'll get to my predictions, but I, very strongly believe we're going to win the East. Mm-hmm. The issue was the depth, and then they got Jordan Clarkson, and they got I.O.W, and it's just like now this is a much deeper team. Mike Brown is using the bench players more. Shamet has looked much better than he ever has because, like, Tibbs like looked at him like oh shit, like I forgot that I had you, like you find something in the attic. It's just like, oh wow, I remember this. Now he's actually getting some usage and he's been much better. So I love this iteration of the Knicks right now. It has everything. The offensive rebounding that was our cornerstone a couple of years ago is back. Mm-hmm. So yeah, fucking hella happy with it.
Yeah, shout out to our guy Mitchell Robinson. And I forgot to pay some bills. So before we get into it, shout out to our sponsor. Actually, Ken, you know what? You did a great job last time. Go ahead, man. Tell them about our sponsor, my boy.
Our sponsor? Well, if we got any content creators out there, if you're doing any type of just videos, anything for your social medias in general, there's only one program you should be using. CapCut. Thank you to our sponsors at CapCut. Let them know Blackout Sports sent you. It is the one stop for all uses of content creation right now. If you're not using it, you're behind. You're behind the game. All right. It's as simple as that. We use it. I made my clips dusting Malik with it. What else can you do? Best app out there. You like how I threw that one in there? Yeah, make sure you check it out. Check out Blackout Sports.
Link is going to be in the description. Tell them Blackout Sports sent you. I can't stand you, bro. But yes, it's all good, man. But we're going to keep the show rolling, man, now that we got these bills paid. The NBA Cup, the Knicks finally win something. They finally win something.
I'll take it.
Yeah, me too. I don't know if you saw Randy. Couple weeks ago, I didn't think the Knicks were going to take the NBA Cup seriously because I truly believe this team is locked in, focused on winning the NBA championship. As I saw them playing, it's starting to seem like, all right, they're not playing around with this NBA Cup. They actually want to win it. Stories about Tyler Kolek buying his parents' cars. He wants to do that. So I feel like it started to mean a lot more. I had a conspiracy theory last week that I felt like the Knicks wanted to advance in the NBA Cup to get to the finals, to specifically play Oklahoma City to see where they measured up. Turns out Oklahoma City couldn't carry their weight. On the other side of that, the Spurs knocked them out. So we got a chance to play the San Antonio Spurs in the NBA final. I told people this before the game. I said, I don't know if you guys remember, but we lost to the San Antonio Spurs last season with Jalen Brunson dropping 44 in a loss to them. So I figured there's going to be some get back on there. So how did you feel? How do you guys feel about how the Knicks performed during this NBA Cup and then them capturing the NBA Cup for the New York Knicks fans?
Well, so I think all of these games matter, right? Like all of these games go to your record. All these games go towards your seeding. We are not the first seed at the moment. The Pistons are for the East. And so whether they were taking the cup seriously because it's the cup or whether it's to be better than the teams they're going to have to beat in the playoffs, it's probably a mix of both. It's a huge morale booster for the team. It's a big statement maker. I mean, you just took out Wemby, who people were already talking about in MVP talks. You took out Wemby. Wemby took out OKC. You position yourself at the top of the NBA. So whether it's the cup itself or whether it's the statement of we're here and ready to win the finals, it accomplished both. And I think they're very, very happy with that. Regardless, now they've really put themselves on the map. It's like we are the real kings of the East. I know technically the Pistons have the better record, but I would strongly be willing to bet that they don't stay the first seed and they definitely don't make it out of the East. I think that's pretty clearly ours. The question now is, can we beat OKC or the Spurs or the Rockets or the Nuggets or whoever in the finals? Because that's where the real contenders are. And That's much more of a question to me now.
Okay, Ken.
Honestly, I think I saw the answer to those questions, Randy. Because I saw what we were lacking in the playoffs last year. Because this carried that intensity, that vibe, throwing bigger guards at Jalen. Like you don't really see bigger guards being thrown at him early season, right? They try to save that strategy for the playoffs because they know that's what they're gonna try and do, disrupt them, right? They pulled out some playoff tactics against the Knicks this game. And what stood out wasn't just the chemistry, right? Like they dug in, kept it together. The difference in coaching. Mike Brown was willing to adjust. When you saw them applying too much pressure to Jalen, and there was time to give Jalen a second playmaker, so Jalen has the ball out of his hands, playmaking. Trusted Tyler Kolek to step up. These were things that Tibbs would not have done. And not no discredit to Tibbs because Tibbs helped change the culture in that team, right? Got them grinding. The defense got stepped up, right? But he would not have made these adjustments. And we saw Kolek got no minutes last year, wasn't trusted, didn't get inserted at all. Time and time again, Mike Brown is showing that he's willing to step in and give Kolek more minutes because Kolek is stepping up, showing, not taking dumb shots, efficient shots, open shots, and playmaking, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now we're seeing a nice duo in JB, who is as good as he is with the ball in his hand. He is that dangerous without it because he finds himself open. He knows how to find spots as the defense collapses, and that's what man you don't want to leave open for a tray, right? Is JB. He shoots at a high clip with a defender on him already. You don't want him shooting open, and Tyler is such a pass first player. That was great. And I don't know. I feel like I feel like OG thrives. Mikhail thrives from having Tyler out there, right? Like because he just finds them in the spots that they like. Finds Mikhail easy middies. So the adjustments on the fly, seeing when things aren't working, go adjust to what's being thrown at us. We weren't never gonna see that with Tibbs. And we saw that with Mike Brown last night, and we are seeing that with Mike. I think that it will come down to coaching. We have the team to run with anybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
especially if we stay healthy, right? We get McBride back. If we make a trade for the likes of like a Jose Alvarado, Devo, right? Deep in the bench, deep in those guards, because we're already stacked. Those are forwards. We got. I would like to think two of the best forwards in the East in OG and Macau, right? Who
for sure.
Macau is coasting most of the time on offense because he knows he has players around him that are going to score. So his focus is defense, and you see him sweating out there, working his ass off defensively. Some nights he might get cooked. It happens, right? But if your priority is the defense, he's putting in the grind. OG, more and more looks like our version of Kawhi, like a young, healthy Kawhi, man. That man hitting high clip 3-pointers, got no fear in his heart to put the ball on the ground and attack the hoop. And that I'm afraid of him when on loose balls. I don't know about you guys. You seen OG attack loose balls? It looks like he's ready to tear a kneecap for a loose ball. And I'm like, my guy, like we need you. But having a player of his caliber who is willing to dive and fight for those balls, just like Josh Hart, it's hard to beat this team like that. We play like we're playing for each other. And Mike Brown is doing the right thing, coaching. Like he is coming in, no ego. He knows New York is starving for this championship. So if it means putting his ego to the side, listening to the assistants, and they're saying, "Hey, we need to go to this," he's willing to do that. We weren't getting that with Tibbs. It was Tibbs' way. This is the game plan he set out for this game, that was the game plan for 48 plus minutes.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Randy.
And just to piggyback off of a couple things you said, yeah, I mean, I love the fact that Brunson is becoming more of an off-ball threat. Part of the criticism last year was Brunson being so on ball what made the offense a little too predictable, especially with like the your turn, my turn kind of style he had with Cat at times. You know, he was able to get away with it because he's that great, you know, peace be upon him, assalamu alaikum, you know. He was always able to get to the hoop regardless, or be able to shoot the threes regardless. But now that you have more distribution where he isn't so on ball dominant, I totally agree. I think it makes a huge difference. And to what you said about Mikal Bridges, he's the only player in the NBA right now who's averaging 2 steals and over a block. Like, he's doing his thing on defense. And the issue with us defensively has always been like, well, Cat's not the best rim protector. He's much more of an offensive player than a defensive player, which is not untrue. But since we've gotten him, he has been a better rim protector than he ever was in Minnesota. And I was the one banging the table for the double big lineup. And a big part of the reason is Mitchell Robinson is that good of a defensive player. He's that good of a rim protector. It gives Cat room to move on offense. It creates the mismatches. So you really have a well-rounded both offensive and defensive team now. And I think it's been I think it's been real nice to see.
And
that really sharing.
Yeah, no, Randy, I completely agree. That versatility we have to come in and say, do we want to go double big to start, or do we go with Cat at the 5? We have that versatility to do that, right? Where Josh Hart, we love him in the starting lineup, right? His numbers have been astronomical in the starting lineup. But if ever we need to go with the double big, we can go double big to start, or we adjust halfway, or come out the half double big if we're like it's close and we're like, hey, you know, maybe we could benefit coming out the half with a double big. We have that versatility with Mitchell, right? And would love to see Huck Porty get some extra minutes too, right? Like, I think we are kind of getting there because Ariel got a couple minutes late in that game yesterday. Got a stop. Kind of looked a little sloppy, but he got in there, made a stop, got ball out in transition. I think he will get there where him and Mitchell will play those parts of the double big or extra big to help Cat slide out, not be the interior force that we're asking him to be. And that'll be great for Cat too, because it'll also keep him away from silly fouls. Because when Cat's that 5, that middle, that's where Cat sometimes, especially with bigs that like to get physical, Cat's catching those silly fouls. Right, because he doesn't know exactly where to keep his hands, or they catch him with his hands in the cookie jar. You know, so
yeah, like the foul he had on Wemby, like things like that needs to be cleaned up still.
Listen, early in the game, the first moment I think Wemby checked in, I think they Wemby went at Cat, and they didn't call the foul, and I was sitting there like that should I'm a Knicks fan, but I'm seeing a blatant foul. Like, Cat knew he couldn't handle Wemby on the move and hugged him, and Wemby still put it up, and they didn't call anything.
Yeah, it was like that a lot for the beginning of the game. They weren't calling anything. They let them play.
They let them play.
Which I like.
Yeah.
You know,
me too. Me too.
Like
yeah, for sure. It had a real playoff atmosphere feel where it's like, we're not gonna give y'all that ticky tacky shit. Y'all gonna have to figure this out real quick. I want to piggyback off of a couple of things, especially you, Ken, where you mentioned Tyler Kolek being inserted, and also Randy, which you mentioned about Mikal Bridges, him averaging 2 steals in a block, him being one of the only players in the NBA to do that currently.
He's, I think, the only player, and he's doing that as a forward, which is especially crazy.
Now that we're talking about it, we can highlight Jalen Brunson. We can highlight OG Anunoby, who I already predicted is going to be an all-star. He's a clear all-star to me this year. I don't care what anybody tells me. I think this is the Mike Brown showcase. The more I think about it, I think this was the Mike Brown showcase. And I'm going to bring up this scenario with you. There's 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Jalen Brunson is being pressured by Castro. He dribbles over to the corner. There's a backcourt violation. Mikal Bridges is on the floor. No, Mikal Bridges isn't on the floor at all, actually. He didn't play much in the second half. Mike Brown calls a timeout, looks on the end of his bench, and calls Tyler Kolek to come in the game to help out ball handling for Jalen Brunson to lead this team to a win. In any other situation last year when we had Tom Thibodeau, he would have made Brunson figure it out. Like, hey, I don't care that they're pressuring you. I don't care that you need help. Figure it out. And I think that has been the biggest difference this season when it comes to this New York Knicks team. There was a lot of questions about how the offense would adapt. Are they going to be as good defensively under Mike Brown? Who's going to what are the rotations going to look like? You had Jalen Brunson, Tyler Kolek, Jordan Clarkson, OG Anunoby, and Mitchell Robinson to close out that game. Does anybody on this panel feel like we would have saw that last year, and let alone think a lineup like that would win us an NBA Cup game against a team like a physical, scrappy team like the San Antonio Spurs in a high pressure situation? I would have to say no. I don't think I would believe that we would ever see that. So I think the more we give credit to these players, I think as the season progresses, I think we really need to start giving Mike Brown this credit. Like, okay, people like me who kind of question the decision to fire Tom Thibodeau at first, I feel like they probably should have gave one more season. But now I see what the Knicks saw, and it was like, okay, we're going to get you this bench, but if you're not going to play them, there's no sense in us retooling this team for Tom Thibodeau. We might as well go ahead and get a guy in there who's actually going to utilize the pieces that we feel are going to help this team contend for a championship. And we're seeing that, and it's paying dividends. So shout out to Mike Brown. And, hey, Mitchell Robinson, guys, like we didn't mention him enough.
Oh yeah, no, he's been probably the best rebounder in the NBA, like overall rebounding. It's definitely the best offensive rebounder. And yeah, I mean, I totally agree with everything you said about Mike Brown. One of Tibbs's biggest issues was his adjustments. The fact that Mike Brown went to his bench and made that adjustment really does show the difference between the two of them. And I totally agree. It was absolutely a masterclass from Mike Brown for a team that was the favorite over us and who was leading up until around the fourth.
Yeah. Listen, it said a lot, and I will keep saying it, like Malik said, and I'll keep voicing it. This year, it's huge. The numbers say it. This team under Mike Brown is so much. It's much better. It's night and day. I think I even saw a stat about like our net rating as a starting lineup. The same starting lineup from last year to this year is like almost like a 20 net point difference from just the starting lineup. Like it's we're playing so much more efficient. We are not playing hero ball. Like, granted, Tibbs' thing was never a offensive guru, right? He is a defensive guru. For him, it's if you can't play defense, you can't take the court.
Right.
Right. We'll figure out how to score, but you can't take the court if you can't play defense. So, truthfully, and that was also the reason why we weren't seeing Tyler, was because supposedly he couldn't defend. Is he the greatest defender? No. Right. But a lot of these smaller guards aren't, right? Unless you're a pesky defender like the Jose Alvarados, right? Like, you aren't gonna be a great defender. It's the bigger guards, right? The more athletic one, the wider wingspans. Those are the good
SGAs.
Ones, right?
SGA.
The Castle's a great,
it's especially Castle.
Right? Castle is Ant-Man.
Right? But here we are, right? Kolek is willing to grind it out and do hustle, and a great playmaker. So I've been calling it. I was calling it last year, wanted to see more of him, but knew he wasn't going to get minutes under Tibbs. Saw Tibbs go, and I said, if we keep some of these pieces that weren't seeing time with Tibbs, they might see time now. And I said at the beginning of the season, Malik can testify this, I was expecting big things out of Tyler Kolek this season because I was hoping for more minutes from him. Because give him the minutes, trust him, and you're gonna see what he generates. Here we are,
baby Steve Nash,
Steve Nash, right there, man.
That's what I call you had the vision,
and he's not afraid to step into that three right now. He's stepping into it, whether he misses or he hits it.
That's the key. That shot.
Exactly. You need people to not be afraid to take them. Like Josh Hart, that was a big issue with him. He took a nice, well contested three. And made it, right? Like, he's gotten better with that too. And to the point about the decision to go past Tibbs, it's really important because I think a lot of sports fans make this mistake where they look entirely at results, but they don't have the ability to analyze process. Like, okay, yeah, we got to the Eastern Conference Finals. Yes, it's been a long time since we'd been to the Eastern Conference Finals. And yes, Tibbs happened to be the coach at the time. But it is important to understand, okay, how did we get there? Did we get there because of him? Did we get there? I wouldn't say in spite of him, but I don't think he was the reason we got there. The reason we got there was because of how talented the team is, especially in comparison to other teams in the East. I think that he is a very good coach, but I think if you looked at the ways in which we succeeded under him in the past however many years, it was more talent driven, less brilliant scheme driven. Like, I mean, I don't know where we would have been last year if it wasn't for the fact that all of our players were injured, and our players were injured because Tibbs ran them into the ground. So, that undoubtedly would have looked entirely different had Mike Brown been coaching last
2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Did it 2 years in a row.
Right, exactly. And we still took them to a game 7 with just Brunson, Hart, and our unused Tibbs bench pieces. Right? Like, imagine if that had been healthy. That could have been a sweep.
And that's where we have to sit on that and really look at it from this fresh eyes and and really truly analyze, like you said, and which is the common sports fan is just going to look at, well, look at what he did. He put the points that he posted. Why are we getting rid of him? And not truly understand that. Sometimes you hit ceilings, right? And I'm a true believer that this could be our Golden State Warriors moment, right? Tibbs did what he did for the team. We appreciate the development of some of these players. Hand off this roster to the next guy and watch him work. And this could be our moment right there. And ironic enough, I'm a big believer in the signs, right? Steve Kerr did it, right? Took the reins from Mark Jackson. Who was Steve Kerr's assistant coach for a couple of those championships?
Mike Brown.
Starts for me, the stars started aligning, and the Knicks deserve this.
Yes, we do. If any fan base deserves it.
So, well, some would say we don't, because the riots we're gonna put in New York, we're gonna set the 5 boroughs on fire, man. But best believe you're gonna see me on top of a bodega sign.
Speaking of deserve, let's go to our next topic. I've seen a lot of people online these past 24 hours or whatever since we won. And the NBA Cup doesn't mean much. I don't understand what Knicks fans are excited for. How are you guys feeling about like the reaction to the Knicks winning this NBA Cup and the kind of heat that Knicks fans are getting? And even from Knicks fans, I have Knicks fans themselves like commenting like, I don't understand what you guys are so happy for. Just the in-season tournament. Just before I let you guys have the floor, I think I don't see what the issue is. I've been a long Knicks fan. I've suffered a long time. So it's a long time as a Knicks fan. So I'm not ashamed to admit that I understand the end goal. And me and Ken were in the chat. We were chatting, and I was like, all right, cool. Let's get on to the championship now. But I'm not gonna sit here in the cat. When they did the celebration, a little tear came to my eye because when you see this team struggle so much, and like the story with Jalen Brunson and what he's brought to this team and the way they just totally turned things around after the Phil Jackson era debacle, I don't see a reason for Knicks fans to be embarrassed about an NBA Cup win at all, or feel like this is not something that the team should celebrate. Yes, they need to keep focused and remember that the NBA championship is the main goal, and they need to focus on that. But damn, it's okay to celebrate for a day that you're starting to see the fruits of the labor of this Knicks team finally starting to turn the corner, finally starting to win consistently, finally starting to win in these high pressure moments. Am I tripping to feel like we should kind of take this NBA Cup win more seriously than some say that we should?
I mean, for me, like I said, it's more of a symbolic victory, and that's enough. That's enough to celebrate it. It's like, yeah, we didn't win the finals championship, but we beat a bunch of teams, including really good ones, including teams that we might end up facing on the way to the finals. We beat Victor Wembanyama in the finals. Like, that's a big deal by itself. If they didn't call it the NBA Cup, it would still be a big deal. It would still be a sign like, okay, we're really the team that the East is going to run through. And so, we're celebrating victories. Like, you could call them whatever you want. You could call it the NBA Cup. You could whatever. But we just beat a bunch of basketball teams. That's the thing to celebrate. It doesn't matter necessarily that it's the cup. It matters that we beat a bunch of teams in the East, and then we beat the Spurs, who beat OKC. So it's a sign that we can win the championship, because you don't get to the finals if you don't win games before the finals. You don't get to the playoffs unless you win games before the playoffs. You don't get to the first seed unless you win regular season games. These games matter. I know, like, people kind of, even some players treat the regular season like it doesn't matter. You don't get there without the regular season. The Chiefs learned that the hard way. Like,
yes, they did.
Yes, they did. Right, like, you could be a Jimmy Butler or Jamal Murray or whatever if you want to, but, like, no, these games matter because they position you in the playoffs, and they signal to other teams, we're a real threat, and we proved that we are. So yes, that's the thing to celebrate.
Yeah, and we're not the Cavs, so the Cavs is the only anomaly to that. But they're not doing it this season. But Ken,
so I'm gonna keep it short and sweet, hopefully, and quick. I think the issue ends up being I think I'm proud of it. I'm celebrating the NBA Cup, and the way I look at it is that, for one, all the naysayers, it's because the Knicks won it. At the end of the day, I truly believe around the league, fans hate the Knicks for whatever reason, right? Because we are the loudest. Whether we win or not, we are the loudest. We wear the orange and blue proud, through rough seasons, through the good and bad. We have been loud every single time there's a speculation. Are we going to get the superstar? Are we going to get this one? We are the loudest out of the bunch.
I'm sure.
So we got a target on our back at all points in time, right? So ain't nobody cried this hard when Milwaukee won it. They raised the banner. Nobody cried this hard when the Lakers won it. They rose the banner, right?
The Lakers one was a little. It was a little loud. It's not
a little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Always,
but I was gonna say a little bit because of LeBron haters.
Yeah, it was a little loud with the Lakers,
but not because of the Laker haters, right? It was LeBron.
But then it was still okay for them to hang a banner because they've won a championship in a recent century. So you know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, add that up there, whatever. You got 20 of them anyway.
And I guess, and I understand that. What we are gonna remember, right, 30 years from now, when this NBA Cup is a staple in the league every year, right? Is that now it'll be a norm. It'll be something to celebrate in 30 years. It's still new. This is year 3 of it, right? You don't hear anybody, right, disavowing the in-season tournaments in soccer in Europe, right? They take them shit serious. They going out there to score. You don't get the Messis. You don't get the Ronaldos taking those nights off me. Like, yeah, I don't care. They take those very serious, and that's what the NBA is trying to poise and trying to create, that kind of atmosphere, that kind of vibe around the cup, right? Because that idea was taken from soccer, right?
It'd be nice if they made the cup have some sort of consequence to the playoffs.
Exactly, and we'll get there. Like, those trial and error. We're still in the early stages of it, right? I think that 100%. I think that NBA Cup, we won the cup. We should, you know what? Let us get, no matter the seeding, our home court advantage in the finals, right? If we make it all the way as the cup winner, we get the four games, no matter record.
Yeah, I think so. I think that would be the cleanest way to do it.
And that gives it the extra oomph, right? Like where teams are like, yo, if we make it all the way, we want that home court. We want those 4 games instead of 3, right? And I think that we will be celebrating the cup differently in 10, 15 years time. Once it's a steady thing that now it's been ingrained. We forget about when it started. Now it's just a yearly thing that we look forward to. Hey, in season tournaments coming around. So I think those 2 things are true, right? I'm celebrating it, but people are gonna hate the Knicks. We put a target on our backs, and I'm okay with that, right? Because you know what? It wouldn't be the mecca of basketball for no reason, right?
Yeah.
Every player is not gonna say my favorite fucking place to play is the Garden for no reason, right?
No, it's true.
So they're gonna hate extra because we're New York.
Yeah.
Right?
Also, Northeast fan bases always get extra hate, and Philly does it to themselves. They deserve it.
Yeah.
Philly eats their own babies.
Yeah, they eat their own babies.
Yeah.
No, Boston deserves it because they're smug and historically racist. But
yeah, thank you. Yeah,
but there's
always a Northeast, especially.
We are diehards, right? Like through the thick and thin, the good and the bad. We are there. We will boo our own fucking team out the door if we need to. Just like we're gonna hold them up like gods, right? That is the New York way. Like you come to New York and you need to be thick skinned and have a strong mental. Because we will love you while you're great. And once we feel like you're turning your back on us, we will stab you right in the back just as quickly, right? Because we're like, oh, bet you're not gonna give for us. You're not putting out your best. You don't care no more. You got your money and you're going. Bet we're booing you out the door. See you right out of town. We'll escort you out.
And another thing about the Knicks love, I don't know if you guys see, but Knicks fans starting to travel. Vegas was a Knicks home game. The semifinals, finals, Knicks home game. Yep. So that's the thing about this New York fan base. Why I think we really have the best fans in the world is because the only reason why Knicks fans have been dormant is because there was no reason for us to be live like that. Now that the Knicks seem to be this close to an NBA championship, you're gonna hate us. You can't block us. You can't do anything because it's like Legion. We are many. That's how it's going to be.
Now we coming in, we taking over like that. We did in Detroit in the
for no better
series,
reason. Right?
It was like basically neutral games.
Yes, for no better way to describe it. We are like roaches, bro. You are not getting rid of us. Once we are in your city, we're multiplying. And we're taking over your crib.
It is very New York.
It is our house. It is our house now, right?
Wasn't it Philly that tried to keep tickets out of our hands in the playoffs a couple of years ago?
Yeah, Detroit tried doing that too.
You gotta have the zip code. Like you gotta live in town. Like
that's crazy.
They don't realize we'll buy it all second-hand market. No problem. Somebody gonna resell these tickets. We'll buy them. Like 100%. We will roll through, multiply. We roll up in, and our captain Jalen's gonna look at him and look at me. I'm the captain. My house.
Well, speaking of Jalen Brunson, before we move on, a couple of shout outs. Shout out to Daniela. Malik, happy you're back. Just Miss Gerard too, but she says no, we can't beat OKC. Okay, I mean OKC can't beat the Spurs, so
don't like the hater energy.
Yeah, I think she
internalized hatred.
I think she a Boston fan, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she just she still supports, but she a Boston fan.
Like people said, we couldn't beat y'all in the second round of the playoffs last year. I remember.
And remember. My boy, he's looking for Boston in the playoffs this year. Mikal Bridges, that's his team. He on that ass. Historic games from him.
Shout out to our guy Los Yarrow. Shout out to the best point guard in the East.
Facts.
Yup, Tibbs would have let that 11-point Spurs lead in the third open up to 20 more probably. But then with the way they was hounding Brunson with no help, probably.
Facts.
Shout out to Music for I can't say it for obvious reasons. But what's up, bro? Appreciate you tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe for all Knicks content. Shout out to my boy Bobby Montgomery. Played some of my old music at a car competition. Won a whole bunch of awards. Shout out to my guy Algorithm Comment. Salute for the support, everybody. If you're just tuning in, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that, man. And let's get into some Jalen Brunson talk. MVP of the NBA Cup. If I was Jalen Brunson, though, Josh Hart would have been wearing that cup.
Yeah.
By the way, that was a little. Josh, you got to calm down. Like, that was a little out of pocket. You got to get y'all like to play around and stuff like that. But
that's sus. That's not how my friends.
That's not how my friends play either, bro.
In Villanova.
No. But I'm gonna play this sound clip real quick because he was the MVP of the Emirates Cup. We knew that, but I want to get into the deeper discussion, especially with you, Randy, having a group about. To me, Jalen Brunson is the clear MVP of the NBA. I hear the talks about Luka. I hear the talks about SGA, but to me, the way Brunson plays and the automaticness in his game, like nobody can stop him. It doesn't matter who you throw on him. It doesn't matter. The winning is there. The leadership ability is there. After he won the MVP award, he didn't even want to talk about himself immediately. Shouted out Tyler Kolek. Shouted out Mitchell Robinson. Shouted out OG Anunoby, who had a masterpiece 20-point game. It's just starting to seem like a groundswell of even people, analysts on TV, starting to be like, hey, Jalen Brunson name needs to be in this MVP conversation. So let me play this clip from Mike Brown for you guys, and then we'll respond to it. Let's hear what Mike Brown got to say.
The MVP is Jalen, and I hope now on this stage, you guys when you start talking about MVP candidates, his name is one of the first to come out your mouth, because on this stage, to go get it done while winning, again, while winning is what, in my opinion, an MVP is about. So you guys do your job.
Shout out to Mike Brown for standing up for his guy, telling the media, do your job. Something that Knicks fans have been telling the media for the past 2-3 years when it comes to Jalen Brunson. Floor is open. Anybody want to respond?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll start. Yeah, absolutely. He absolutely should be in MVP talks. I think. And another reason why I think the NBA Cup is valuable is because I don't think he was going to get those looks. I think he will now because of the additional attention that this has gotten. And I mean, MVP to me has never necessarily meant the best player in the NBA. Not even saying that he's not in that conversation. I think he is, but it's not just about that. To me, MVP is who is literally the most valuable to their team. And there are conversations you can have with all of the players in the MVP talks, but there's a reason he won Clutch Player the year last year. He came through for his team in a way that really not many other players in the NBA had to be the backbone of their team. You know, like as a football example, you know, the whole Lamar Jackson versus Josh Allen debate. You know, Lamar Jackson had better stats pretty much across the board. He had historically great stats. Why did Josh Allen win it? Well, because Stephon Diggs got taken away and his best receiver was Khalil Shakir. So, like, everyone was like, okay, Josh Allen is single-handedly being the engine of this offense that is, I think, second in the NFL, whatever. So that I don't, whether, you know, I think we could have a debate over whether he should have won it, but I think that was the reasoning behind it. And
for sure,
Jalen Brunson, Jalen Brunson is surrounded by talent for sure, but he is the captain of the team. He is, when someone needs to come through to bring to squash a deficit, it's him. I think that he is also disadvantaged a lot because there's this kind of draft brain thing that the media translates with players. Like, there's still people talking about Jalen Brunson. It's just like, you can't win with a small guard.
It's
You can't win
insane.
with someone who's like 6'1". You're just like, bro, but he has been. Not only has he been,
At a
but he's
high
not
level.
the first one to do it.
Right, right.
Yeah. It's like, would you have said that about IT? Would you have said that about Steph Curry? Like, he has been winning. He's at least a top 2 player in the East, you know. Like what are we doing, bro? But people hold on to that, and they just won't believe it even after he's been actively doing it. So I think these are all reasons why he doesn't get talked about it like that, but I think he should get talked about it. You know, is Luka and SGA are probably going to be the front runners because the media likes them better and because they're leading the NBA in points. But I think that at least Brunson should be in those conversations. You know, you could say, well, Giannis is the one doing the biggest carry job of any person in that field. That is true for sure. But if you're talking about winning, because Giannis has not been doing that much winning, that's hence why he's not thrilled to be where he's at right now.
Exactly.
If you're talking about carrying a team, if you're talking about coming through in the clutch, if you're talking about being the guy that's like able to put the cape on, that's Brunson. You know, nobody does that quite like Brunson.
Great.
No, I agree. He's there. He's at the top for me. I see it the same way. I see MVP the same way. It's the most valuable player to the team, right? Who makes the biggest impact on the team? I've also kind of drifted away. Like, I kind of don't care if JB gets it. Because at the end of the day, we know that it's also a media push, right? Who's the bigger narrative, and who's being pushed by the NBA more, right? From the players right now starring. Do I believe it is always better for the NBA when the Knicks are winning? Yes. And so Brunson should be rewarded for that, right? Like, his push for an MVP case should be rewarded. Does he feel like the most marketable player? No, because he's team first, right? Like, he is not flat. He doesn't exude this aura and this persona like I'm the best on the court, right? Even if he is. It's team first basketball for him, right? It's what can get the W's, how can we get this win as a team? What does he need to do to get the others involved? And also get the buckets when nobody else can get the buckets, right? I don't think that's as much as basketball is a team game, that's not who they want to push at MVP, media-wise. Let's be honest, right? Luka gets his assist, but Luka also will completely get the offense focused on him, and it will just be us watching Luka throw up threes and do nonsense and all these flashy passes. It's fun to watch Luka play, right? Because you just don't know what circus shot or circus pass he's gonna do. SGA the same thing, plays fast, plays aggressive, gets to the line, doing things that you're not normally seeing. Who is out there talking about JB's footwork outside of the actual NBA analysts and the people who know basketball? If JB's footwork isn't flashy, it's not going to attract the viewers. The net ratings aren't going to go up because of JB's footwork, but he's killing every guard with his footwork. He's killing forwards with his footwork. It's not the flashy thing.
That spinning fadeaway that he does, though, is pretty beautiful.
He's not even. So you know what? That's not even my favorite one. You know what's my favorite one is his fake, right? When he extends, extends on the pivot, gets the defender to jump, and then cross bodies it in for yes. That's my favorite because it goes to show you how much his footwork is just on a different level. It's elite because just with footwork and just body control, right? Body manipulation, he gets you to jump. And that opens up an easy lay or a bump and lay. So now he's also going to the line off of that lay. So the things he does aren't flashy enough for the MVP candidate. And that's where the system is flawed. right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Do I watch too many Knicks games? I feel like I disagree that it's not flashy.
Well,
Like,
here's the thing. Here's the thing is that you're not.
Maybe I'm starting to see a tide turn here because against the Orlando Magic in the NBA Cup, you saw what he did to Anthony Black.
Yes.
So and then during the course of the NBA Cup, you hear the announcers like, "Damn!" Like,
oh yeah, no, that was crazy. Speaking of footwork,
so here's the
like you're starting like that. That's where my point lies. Is that I'm starting to see a shift in the attention that Jalen Brunson is getting, like this boring player type, comparison that he has. Clips coming out with him talking shit to the fans and fans on the talking like, "Hey, that's a flop." He like, "Hey, yo, you do your job, I'll do mine. Watch me cook." And then he's cooking on the same play, hitting the three, looking back at the fan like, "What's up?" I'm even starting to see an attitude change with Jalen Brunson. So that's my point. Like, are you guys starting to see like the same thing, or where we thought these areas that you pointed out could hurt Jalen Brunson in the MVP candidacy when it comes to nationally? Do you feel like that may be starting to change?
I think so, and that's what's needed, right, Randy? Would you agree? Like that's needed?
Yeah, I think that's definitely needed.
It's about what persona he wants to portray, because like what are we pushing? Like, because this is the Knicks team, right? This is nitty gritty. We're gonna get at you. We ain't afraid of it.
That's such a part of the culture, yeah.
That's the culture. That's who we embody. For Christ's sake, we are doing hard hats and Tims for defensive player of the game. Where other other teams are maybe doing like the team logo on a chain. We are doing hard hats and Tims because we are New York, right? Brunson needs to let it be known. Doesn't matter if it's nationally televised or not. Like, yo, back up, watch me work. Oh, this is your favorite player? Let me work. Watch what I'm gonna do to him. And he has that attitude, he has that persona, and he's that damn good, right? And I think it has to come a point in time, whether he gets the nods or not. Jalen has to be like, you know what? If you're not gonna talk about me in it, I'm gonna give you reason. I'm gonna come out. Whoever you are talking about, whoever you think can guard me, I'm gonna put belts to ass to that player. Watch me get my smooth 25 to 30 and barely sweat while doing it, right?
Yeah.
And that's the mentality, and he needs to demand his respect, right?
Yes.
And it starts with him. Like, we as fans, we know that footwork is fire,
elite.
He now needs to make it known every single nationally televised game. Let me show you how smooth and how I'm gonna hit these players with this.
I'm just gonna say, I think that if we're talking about the players that have like real MVP cases, Giannis has to be out because of the team record. Like, you're just not going to do it with a losing team record, even if it's obviously not your fault.
Injury may keep him out anyway, right?
True.
Like, I do believe.
Yes,
like, I don't think he's meeting the 75 game minimum at all, or 68 game, whatever.
Yeah, 65.
65.
And then Wemby, same deal. Wemby's probably not going to make the amount of games. So it's Luka because he's leading the NBA in points. SGA because he has the best record, and because, to be fair to him, also he's doing like 30 points in three quarters, averaging like a turnover or two a game, insane efficiency. Like, he has a real case. Jokic, who was just like a couple weeks ago putting up 55 points on 78%.
I always forget about Jokic. It's crazy.
Yeah. Because he's always either first or second in MVP. The past 5 years, he's won 3 MVPs, and he was second in the only 2 that he lost. So, I forgot about him too, because you just get used to him. But of anyone who's on a winning team, who's doing a crazy carry job, you could argue he's probably doing the most carry job. Because if Jokic was out, his team, I think, would fall the furthest of any of them.
Oh, for sure.
But, so those are, 55 and 78% is ridiculous, but I mean, it's those 3 and then Brunson. Cade's efficiency has been pretty bad, so I wouldn't give him a serious chance. I know that there's some talks about him, and especially leading the the East, but I don't think he's going to stay leading the East. All of that. I think SGA, Jokic, Luka, and Brunson, I think, are the most serious MVP contenders right now. I do think there's a bit of a Knicks bias, also an anti-Knicks bias that does exist in the media. We're one of those fan bases that people just don't want to get behind.
Mhm.
So that might be another part of why Brunson doesn't get it. Not to discredit the cases of the other guys because they've been incredible too. I don't expect him to win it, but he should be top 4 in voting for it.
Mhm.
And if he is behind those 3, if Wemby does make the games cut or Giannis does make the games cut, maybe that'll change. But he should be top 4 with those 3 as the other 3, I think.
I can agree with that. All right, 5 minutes and then we'll get out of here. All-Star voting started today. Did you guys vote?
Not yet.
Okay,
I
all right.
haven't yet. I'm getting on it though. We just did Pro Bowl voting and I was spamming that, so I got to spam this too.
Oh yeah, I gotta go back and vote. They gave me it was like a 12-hour interval or something like that. I get to vote again. So I got Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby, and Karl Anthony Towns as my starters so far. Josh Hart. I wanted to put Josh in there, but Josh with the thumb thing yesterday. I was like, yeah. You're gonna lose some votes because I didn't like the way you embarrassing Jalen Brunson on stage like that. But in a realistic sense, do you feel like there should be at least 3 to possibly 4 Knicks players on the All-Star team for the East this year?
Is it positionless?
It looked like it was to me. They didn't ask for 2 guards, 3 forward. They didn't do none of that. It was just name 5.
Okay, because if that's the case, then Brunson's the best point guard in the East. Cat is the best center in the East. Giannis is going to be one of them, regardless of team record. It's name value usually goes into these things. I think OG and Mikhail have legitimate cases for being all-stars, and I would vote for either of them to be all-stars. I don't think people are going to vote for them to be all-stars just because of, again, the name recognition and all that. But
right.
I mean, they've been easily 2 of the best players in the East. They've been definitely 2 of the best defenders. They made definitely the best wing defensive duo in the East, if not the entire NBA. I mean, OG led the cup in points, right? He's been a very serious contributor to the team when he's been on the court, and Mikhail has too. So I think you can, in a non-homer fashion, say that all of them being all-stars somewhere on the team, even if they're not all starters, is totally justified.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I agree. For me,
he gonna put Jordan Clarkson on there.
For me, the 3 starters for sure. Right, we got OG, Cat, and Jalen. I think Mikal should be a reserve, or one of the bench players, one of the reserves. He's just been consistent, defensively consistent. In the floating in that 15 to 16 points range. His stats might not jump off the paper, but he is one of the most consistent players in the East. Regardless position, right? Regardless. Overall, well-rounded. He deserves that. He deserves that reserve slot. Not bad. Wow. But that's where it sits. So outside of those 4, I think Hart playing out of his mind right now, but it took him a little bit to get there. He'll have a great season, but he started off, whether it was injury, but the injury he sustained right from the preseason slowed him down a little bit, and then coming off the bench also. Now he's getting there. We'll keep seeing what he does for the rest of the season, but but I don't think we see 5 Knicks getting spots. 3 for sure needed. 4 is pushing, right?
I mean, Mitch If Mitch was a reserve, I think that would be very well earned. Being by far the best rebounder in the NBA has got to get you something.
Gotta mean something, right? I mean, you have 6 offensive rebounds in the fourth quarter of a high pressure game. I mean, it gotta mean something. You're right, dude.
I get it. I get that. Like Mitch is the owner of two crazy stats this season: the lowest free throw percentage, and also the most offensive rebound.
If the free throws keep him out of it, I'm not going to complain. Like that's come on, dude. Like that's supposed to be the easy part of basketball.
It's called free throws. They're free for a reason.
Yeah,
right?
He has the Shaq like thing where they're like Shaq could make plenty of them in practice, but for whatever reason during the game, can't make any of them.
Nervousness, like I don't know what it is, because people always give the excuse to bigs, like it's just like, well, you know, centers, bigs, like nobody expects them to be good at free throws, but like why? It's not like having big hands makes shooting harder. Like we've seen,
should make it easier.
Yeah, if anything, Jokic is a great free throw shooter, and he's huge. Like you know, Cat is also huge. Like I no excuses, bro. Like get in the gym. Like he's done it for decent stretches, like in the Celtics series. Like figure it out, bro. Like come on, stop it. Like that's embarrassing.
Yeah, 17% not gonna cut it. Can we at least get 50? Like I don't care if you miss one, make one, but you it can't be 17.
Yeah, they can't knowingly be able to put you at the line with that level of confidence.
And that's why I say, yes, those offensive rebound numbers up there, but also that free throw number is low. You know, we're gonna be honest out here.
Yeah.
Right? So Mitch, I love him. I think that maybe we could get like a comeback player for him if he's able to keep the kids stay healthy. Would love that award for him at the end of the year because honestly, being able to bounce back, stay healthy, huge, and I think he would deserve that, especially if he keeps those minutes up. It floats in the 20 minutes per game, like middle 20s, high 20s per game. Yeah, I'm here for it. Like, give Mitch comeback player of the year, right?
Okay, all right. So we are kind of in agreement. Three Knick All-Stars this year. I can do. I want the Detroit Pistons. Like, that's what I want, where you have at least 4 to 5 players from the Knicks. And you just shuffle out the starters because the East is weak to me. Everybody's hurt, man. I don't see why not. Like,
there aren't enough players that have the star power to be like definite, obvious ones. Like there's Giannis, there's Brunson. Like you know, Cade will probably be in there.
Jaylen Brown and his hairline.
I was gonna say, you know where I was going.
I knew he was going.
As much as I might talk about his hairline, I gotta.
Jaylen has been balling. I ain't gonna hold you.
He's been balling. Like I said, he's watching the show, and he took disrespect.
Yeah, Ken, you did this because he was trash before you said anything about his hairline.
You made the clip, bro. You put me out there.
Hey, it did well.
So I'll blame my editor over here, my producer. He put it out there, and Jalen's been balling ever since.
Yeah, no, he be rubbing that shoe shine on people. Like that's just crazy.
It is. It's that dark polish, bro. Whoever his barber is, replace him.
Yeah, for real. It's like
barber, bro.
Yeah, bro, cannot just be like spray painting your head and be like, that's enough. That's fine. Like
the Bijan not supposed to get passed around. That's supposed to stay there. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But, so yeah, no, there aren't a lot of like with Tatum out, with Hallie out. You know, there aren't a lot of people who have the name recognition to definitely be all-stars in the East. So yeah, three Knicks is not impossible, especially if we end up taking the East by that point, and we're not far.
All right. But you said before we get out of here, man, you said you had a prediction. I didn't forget. What was your
prediction?
I see. We can't see the. Hold on. Can I get rid of this? We can't. Can I move this? Let me see. Where's that? 26 Finals champion. Okay, I like that.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Now we out
Talk
here.
About it.
This is the year. This is the East is a perfect clear path for us. This is the year where we win it. We proved in the NBA Cup that we can beat one of the top Western teams because we did. So if we can do it, then we will do it. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm going to say about it. There's a lot of pressure on OKC to repeat. They have by far a record that's insane at this point. Like, they might end up being the best team of all time by the time they get there, at least from the regular season. They might end up breaking the 73. But we can beat OKC because we beat the team that beat OKC. We could beat the Spurs because we've beaten the Spurs. We could beat the Rockets. We could beat the Nuggets. Whoever comes out of the West, we can beat them. So that is my prediction, that this is the Knicks year, that the NBA Cup will be of importance because it will be the foreshadow to us taking the title. And I think that's what's going to happen. And I know that you wanted to get out of here. I just wanted to ask you guys because it's important Knicks news. What do you guys think about the possibility of a Giannis trade? Do you want it? Do you not want it? Do you think it's likely, unlikely?
No, we don't. We want your take. We've talked about it, and we've talked. We want your take on that. You can take that away. We both, me and Ken, are aligned on this. Like, we don't want to mess up this chemistry, and especially like when it comes to me, I'll answer real quick, and then I'll let Ken go, and then we'll pass it back to you on this. I think the NBA Cup shows you why we shouldn't trade for Giannis in the first place. Like, you saw the example in front of your face with the cohesion with this team. You don't want to mess that up. Period. I didn't say it on the show, but I am starting to see a consistent attitude change with Karl Anthony Towns. I cannot remember the last time I've seen Karl Anthony Towns argue with a referee about a foul. And ever since that change has happened, we've seen a change, Karl Anthony Towns, and he hasn't even played his best basketball yet. So when you take all of that into consideration, especially with the injury, I've been on this. You've seen my post. I've been on this thing with Giannis with his calf for a long time. Giannis is 31 years old. You're going to have to guarantee him $300 million more. And he hasn't developed a jump shot or a perimeter game at all. So if he does get hurt or he is starting to wind down athleticism-wise, there's something else for him to go to. There's none of that. So I don't see the reason why the Knicks should do that, especially what the progressions that they're making. Go ahead, Ken.
No, I completely agree. You know how I feel. Keep this team together. Yeah. Keep this team together. If we are making any trades, give me the big Ragu back. Yep. Bring Devo back. I've seen the reports, and I like Jose Alvarado. I think Jose. If we don't get Devo back, give me Jose, because he's a Brooklyn native. One, for those that don't know, he's gonna bring that New York energy, that grit, that nitty gritty that we want. Right, gonna be a pesky defender. Great addition for the team, right? If we're able to grab that up, right? So I'm here for it. I'm here for those types of trades. I'm past the Giannis trade.
Yeah,
me too.
No, I agree. I think that it's obvious, as flashy as it would be, it's just not real anymore in the NBA that you can win on the backs of like a couple of superstars carrying the teams, like a big three. The era of the big three hasn't been a thing in a while. That's the reason why KD in Brooklyn and in Phoenix didn't work, because he got a big three with him as the main guy. And both teams are in shambles. Brooklyn's been in shambles since. Phoenix is, kind of started to like be better. They've started to kind of make it work, but they're not winning a championship anytime soon. The Clippers with Kawhi and PG, you don't take a bunch of assets, a bunch of good players, a deep roster, and blow it up for a 30-plus expensive superstar. It just doesn't make sense, especially if you already know that you have a path to the championship now. I've never really understood it. I think that for any team that's done a good job of it, I think the Rockets trading for KD, I think they did a good job of, if you're going to trade for a 30-plus expensive star, giving up as little as they did and slotting him in when they had no real shooters and they needed one. I can understand the logic. They're not screwed if he leaves or retires or whatever. But unless we get if Milwaukee is so desperate, or if Giannis is able to put enough pressure on them, they'll be like, sure, we'll take one starter, Tyler Kolek, and a first, then maybe I'd entertain it. But that's so unlikely. I think you just run it back with this team. I think this team is great as is. The depth is much more valuable than anything Giannis can individually bring, as evidenced by the team he's currently on, that he's trying to single-handedly carry.
Yeah, we agree, man. We agree. I'd say just give it at least give it the season. Like I gotta see him come back, be healthy, no calf issues, none of that. Just wait to the offseason. We already came into the season with the plan to see how the season was going to go. If that wasn't the plan, they could have traded for him in the offseason when the Bucks came calling in the first place. Because it wasn't the Knicks that reached out. It was the Bucks. It was reported. I don't care what Giannis says. I don't care what Doc Rivers says. They called. They called us. So if that was going to be the plan, we would have made the move then. So, hey, man, let's just ride it out, man. I don't see why not.
You also have to worry about fit, right? Like this is and should be Brunson's team. If you're bringing in Giannis, like these are both such on-ball players, is Giannis going to be okay being the off-ball pick and roll like receiver from Brunson and that being like his main role? I don't know. I think if things work, don't fuck it up. Like that's just it.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Right. All right, man. There you go. Randy, we appreciate you being here, my boy. Tell the people where they can find you, man, and what you got cooking up. What's coming up next?
All right, y'all can find me at the Cult of Brunsonianism. You could find me at I.O.W Sports Network on Tuesdays. You can find me on Panther on Acid Productions on Instagram. If you sports talk, if you need mixing, mastering, recording, and beats, I'm here for all of that.
Nice.
Okay, we're gonna have to try to negotiate, get him to be like a regular on the show.
All right.
We'll have to talk.
We'll figure it out.
I got you. Okay.
We'll make the numbers work.
And
talk about the numbers. Run those numbers up and make sure you are liking, comment, subscribing, sharing with your mother, with your aunt, your sister, brother, her ex, the new nigga, everybody in between, right? So that's crazy. Want to know what's crazy? The Knicks winning that cup, and we're gonna be on everybody's asses from here on out. Before I log out,
no Josh Hart.
Hey, we're going no Josh Hart. That's wild. Caught in 4K. Caught in 4K. That's wildness. But thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys always. Right, bleeding orange and blue. Listen. We are family. We riding. This is our year, like Randy said, right? We raising banners. We burning the barrels to the ground when we win it. All right. Thank you. Love you guys. And check out CapCut. My boy, Malik. Send us off with that guy. I don't see that logo there. It should have CapCut for all things.
Yeah,
Malik L's.
Yeah, I gotta take it off on the slander and the curses of flying because it's the contract.
You know what's crazy?
The rant's over.
I want everybody to know I'm gonna use CapCut so I can create my animated background of all the times I do Malik dirty. So every single time I'm on the show, playing on my background is gonna be an animated background. Right?
Sorry, is this going to be in Madden or 2K? Because
2K, and because we're both Knicks fans, we can't rock the Knicks. It's going to be random teams.
I don't have no issue with it.
It's going to be random teams so that Malik doesn't complain when he gets dusted.
Complain.
So much of a closer.
Okay. Randy said, "This is the way y'all close." No, it's not. It's a special occasion because we got Randy on the show. That's how the pot got mixed up. We switching up the recipe to end it. But no, once again, love you guys. From here to the finals, we gonna be rocking all season long.
We rocking out with that, man. That's it. We out.